The stone beneath my fingers felt both familiar and foreign. It was the texture of the ages, each groove telling of a world that had once been vibrant. I let my fingers trail along its surface, feeling the history etched into the rock as surely as the sigils that marred its face. Erosion had sung its dirge across these walls, but beneath the layers of age, the bones of the Walker outpost remained resolute. After all this time, Vareth was still a place of power, though now it bore more resemblance to a mausoleum than a sanctuary for the living. The air here was heavy with the scent of decay, yet within it lingered the faintest echoes of what had once thrived, like a distant memory that refuses to fade completely. Lyra, ever vigilant at my side, moved with a grace born of the unending twilight that defined her existence. Her presence was a balm against the creeping shadows of memory, a steadfast reminder of purpose. The light in her eyes was reflected from the dim shafts of ether light that filtered through the cracked stone above. She walked as if she had always belonged here, and perhaps she did, in another time. Her curiosity was as much a part of her as the air she breathed, and it was that curiosity that had brought us here, to this place where time itself seemed to pause. We once called this place the Citadel of Aether, I began, my voice low and laden with the gravity of that vanished epoch. The words resonated within me as they emerged, carrying with them a weight I had long since grown accustomed to. It was here that the Walker Order gathered, a beacon of knowledge and power. In those days, the walls did not whisper of ghosts. Lyra's eyes met mine, bright and curious. Her gaze was that of one who seeks and yet fears the truth in equal measure. And Maren, was she here too? Her question was as inevitable as the tide, rising to meet my ears with the relentless certainty of the moon's pull on the sea. Maren, a name that lay across my soul like the weight of mountains. She had been the brightest among us, a comet blazing through the firmament of our order. Her brilliance had blinded me to the depths of her ambition until it was too late. There was a time when her laughter had filled these halls, a sound as clear as chimes caught in a gentle breeze. Yes, I replied, drawing a breath that tasted of ash. How simple the words seemed, yet how burdensome its implications. Maren stood here once, at the precipice of understanding and destruction. She sought to merge the realms, to weave a tapestry where all dimensions converged. It was a dream that consumed her. We stepped further into the dim light, filtering through the cracked stone, our presence stirring the dust of ages into languid spirals. The air was thick with the silent knowledge of the past, a library of shadows that flickered at the edge of perception. Each step echoed faintly, a reminder of the silence that now ruled here, where once voices had been raised in discovery and debate. Did you try to stop her? Lyra's voice, soft yet insistent, pulled me from the reverie of memory. Her words were like a gentle breeze against a flame, coaxing it back to life. I did, I nodded, the admission a bitter echo that reverberated through my soul. But I was too late. The collapse, it was a ripple from her fall. I believe she perished within it, cradled by the very chaos she unleashed. Lyra's silence was understanding, but behind it lurked the specter of doubt, a doubt recently rekindled by the remnant's presence. The creatures that had begun to tear through the fabric of reality were no mere accidents of decay. There was a pattern forming, an orchestration from within the ether's symphony. The threads of history and fate wove together, tightening into a tapestry that was both familiar and alien. As we moved deeper into the outpost, the temperature dropped, the chill seeping into my bones like the touch of some long-forgotten winter. The sigils carved into the ancient stone shifted beneath my scrutiny, revealing hidden pathways of energy that lay dormant, waiting for the right touch to awaken them. Each mark was a whisper of power, a connection to the greater whole that had once been. The tears. They are not random, I continued, my voice a thread through the still air. Someone or something is reopening them. From the inside. This is no mere consequence of neglect. It is deliberate. Lyra's brow furrowed, her understanding deft as she pieced the fragments together. We shared a glance, a silent communion of thoughts that needed no words. Whoever wielded such power still walked the shadows between worlds. And if Maren lived... As we reached the heart of the outpost, the vast chamber opened before us. Once a hub of walker activity, it now lay shrouded in quietude, the ghosts of its inhabitants etched into the very stones. In the center, a grand dais rose, its surface marked by intricate patterns, familiar sigils, remnants of a language that spoke to the bones of the universe. The silence here was profound, a living thing that seemed to breathe in tandem with the shadows. I approached it, my steps deliberate, my heart a steady drumbeat against the veil of silence. Lyra followed, her breath a subtle warmth in the frigid air. Together we stood before the dais, a forgotten altar to an age long past. The air was charged, as if waiting for something, a spark to ignite the dormant power that lay beneath the stone. And there, upon the wall behind it, was a mark, fresh and defiant, carved with deliberate precision, a sigil of the Walker Order. The lines were sharp, unmarred by time's relentless march. It was a signature, a whisper, a taunt. No dust clung to its grooves, no erosion dared soften its message. Someone claimed this place, unwelcome and untethered by the weight of centuries. It was a challenge, a sign that the past had not been forgotten and perhaps not forgiven. "Someone is still out there," I murmured, the words a quiet storm within the confines of stone and shadow. My gaze lingered on the sigil, the implications wrapping themselves around my consciousness like tendrils of smoke. Lyra nodded, her eyes mirrored the crescent of uncertainty and resolve. Together we stood on the precipice, the past and present merging into a singular path that lay ahead. The echoes of our predecessors whispered from the shadows, urging us forward into the unknown. In the desolate heart of the citadel, the name that haunted the dark now echoed, a promise of things yet to unfold, a harbinger of the unknown that awaited us beyond the shrouded veil of tomorrow. The air hummed with potential, the walls vibrating with the energy of anticipation as we contemplated the steps that would carry us into the future. The journey would be perilous, fraught with dangers known and unseen. Yet as I stood beside Lyra, her presence a beacon in the encroaching dusk, I felt a stirring within me, a spark of hope, fragile yet persistent. The darkness was vast, but we would face it together, guided by the light of understanding and the resolve to reshape the world from the ashes of the past. The path lay open before us, and we would walk it, come what may.